What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. Guys, happy happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday, everybody. Mama, you excited?
Yes, I am. It's the beginning of the season.
Yes. So the WNBA season kicks off today, and guys, we are very excited about it. The first game is actually happening today at 6 p.m. Central Time, and we're gonna see the New York Liberty versus the Washington Mystics sort of kick it off. But the first like big games that's gonna be on ESPN two is gonna be Indiana versus Connecticut, and that is happening at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. Now, guys, we are very excited about this. The WNBA season has started. We are here. And guys, we're about to give you a general preview of generally what you can expect for this season, what we are particularly looking forward to. We're going to talk about some teams. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So I am very happy that you all have joined us. So hit that like button and let's talk about some women's basketball. But before we do, Shania says, "Hello, happy belated Mother's Day."
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We yeah, there were some people yesterday who was saying who wanted me to tell you happy Mother's Day.
Okay. Okay. How nice are you all?
Rena says, "Hi, ladies, so excited." Yeah, I mean, very excited, very excited. Kim, this is fantastic. Kim says, "I am so excited. This is my first
Oh
WNBA
wow.
season."
Well, welcome to the WNBA.
I mean, we got quite a bit of awesome stuff for Kim to experience, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
hey, you're in for a fantastic season, Kim. I'm very happy that you are raring to go. Bad Betty Books, what an awesome name. I like it. I like it. Says, "I am excited for the season. Listening to you at work to prep for tonight. Let's go." Make sure to get your work done, though. Make sure to get your work done. But let's go. I'm very happy that you all are joining. It's about to be a good time. We about to go a quick hour and be done. But we're gonna get into some really good stuff. But first, I do want to just sort of level set us to just remind ourselves of what happened last year. So last year, here is where everybody stood, right? We saw the Las Vegas Aces win the championship. They were the number one seed basically the entire year. Second place was the New York Liberty. New York Liberty did win the Commissioner's Cup, but they lost to the Aces in the finals. Number three last year was the Connecticut Sun, then the Dallas Wings, then it sort of goes down the line there. Atlanta Dream, Minnesota Lynx, Washington Mystics, the Chicago Sky just eked out a playoff spot last season, and then the teams who were on the outside looking in were the LA Sparks, the Indiana Fever, and the Seattle Storm alongside the Phoenix Mercury. So that was sort of how everything shook out last year. And last year, we know the result. We know what happened. We saw, the Aces just do their thing and just absolutely dominate. And guys, we may be having the same thing happen this year. We may be having the same thing happen this year. Lil says, "Hit that like button." Yeah, y'all listen to Lil and hit that like button. Lynn says, Mom's hair looks nice."
Thank you.
All right, Mama. So we got a level set of how teams did last year.
Mm-hmm.
But Mama, I want to talk to you before we talk about how teams are going to do this year. I want to get your opinions on something that was actually announced earlier today.
Okay.
And that is the Golden State Valkyries, their logo. So, just a couple of backstory real quick. So, this is the Golden State Warriors team. This was announced several months ago. And we actually have a logo for it. They did like a little bit of a teaser yesterday, so I knew it was coming. But this is the logo. They're called the Valkyries. Their logo includes what the main color scheme is a violet and black color scheme. But Mama, looking at this, What do you think?
I don't like the color scheme. I would prefer if they'd had some lighter colors in there. Um, the the black kind of like throws it off a little bit. It would have been nice if they'd have put like white where the black is, or put a touch of white in there somewhere. That all dark uh, black with the violet, because it's really like a violet color. I'm glad they're coming on though. Don't get me wrong, you all. I'm so glad that we're adding another team. That's going to be awesome. That's for next year, right?
Yeah, for 2025.
Okay, so they'll be in. So I'm looking forward to that. I just wish they had chosen a different, lighter color. Wonder where the purple came. Why they used the purple?
So they actually like did like a whole write up about like their, I guess, thought process behind picking the colors that they did.
Okay.
So according to the marketing team of the Golden State Valkyrie, they said Valkyrie violet symbolizes power, ambition, nobility, and women's empowerment.
Okay.
Much like purple has been used symbolically in modern history.
Okay, now I got it. Okay.
So that's kind of that
symbol
vibe a
of
little
power.
bit.
The purple itself is a symbol of power. Okay, so they I guess looking at this, they're gonna choose. They're gonna have teammates that have extraordinary powers, or at the top of the line, they're gonna be some awesome players. So if you're gonna have that kind of a logo, you can't just have any type of player. You can't just say I'm just putting a team together. You got to have some good people to make this team. If you want to use that symbol as a place of power.
Yeah. And Mama, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is something I just noticed.
What?
Have you realized that this is the first team that's tied with the NBA franchise that is not using the same colors of that franchise?
Maybe that's why I thought the purple shouldn't.
Yeah, because we have the Los Angeles Sparks,
Yep.
same colors as the Lakers. The Phoenix Mercury, same colors, basically as the Phoenix Suns. Minnesota Lynx, Minnesota Timberwolves. Same thing. Even the Seattle Storm, they had the same look as the Seattle Supersonics before they moved, right? This is a departure from that, which is pretty interesting. It never clicked to me until just now that this is actually pretty different. Like, this is a huge departure from what the color scheme of the Golden State Warriors is, and I'm kind of surprised about that a little bit. Kind of surprised.
So maybe they're gonna give us something new, since the color is new and not tied to the team.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna give us a new type of playing. You think that's possible? A new type of playing?
Well, they're gonna have to really work out the way everything looks in the arena, because they're not gonna be able to use Golden State stuff.
Well, let's say that maybe they're not going to play in Golden State arena.
Oh, they will. They will. They're playing at the Chase Center. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be a whole different change every time for the whole. That's a whole different change.
And that's why a lot of teams. That's why other teams don't do it. Leslie says Chicago has different colors, but Leslie, the Chicago Sky are not associated with the Chicago Bulls. They are very different. They don't have the same ownership. So what I was talking about, the Golden State Valkyrie has the same exact ownership group as the Golden State Warriors. That's not the same thing as the Sky. The Sky is completely different, so that's why it's different. Same thing as the Dallas Wings, right? They're friends with the Dallas Mavericks, but they are not different owners, and whatnot. So it's different. All right, so that's why I'm saying that this in particular is a departure, because this is not normal for WNBA teams who have the same ownership group as the NBA team to look very, very different.
Yes, it's totally different.
Now, guys, at first, when I heard the name, because they announced the name and they announced the logo today, and at first I was like, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait,
what does that mean?
What's a Valkyrie? What is a Valkyrie? Well, I looked at their press release, and they said originating from Norse mythology, Valkyries are a host of warrior women who are fearless and unwavering, flying through air and sea alike. This brand is Golden State's modern interpretation of Valkyries: strong, bold, and fierce. So, yeah, I mean, that's what a Valkyrie is, I guess. Mama, any last thoughts about this Golden State Valkyrie team before we move on? But yeah, what do you think?
I'm looking forward to these group of women that's gonna be part of this team.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to be some strong women coming in the door. I don't think they're gonna get any. They can't come in with just anybody joining the team with this kind of a brand.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna be looking for them to perform at a high level coming in the door.
And they're expecting to perform at a high level right out the door, because you have the owner of this group. He's looking to win fast.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he wants to win a championship in the first 5 years. I think that's what he said.
And that's a bold statement there.
Yeah.
For a brand new team.
Joe Lacob is this is the guy who said that he's the one who created the Golden State Warriors that we know now. Well, not now, but the Golden State Warriors of a couple years ago.
Right, before they became champions, but he built that team.
He built the team. And he knows that he's gonna build this Valkyrie team on the back of Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is going to be the #1 pick in the draft. The Valkyrie are going to get that pick. They are going to build something very, very special, and I'm pretty interested to see what happens. But I will say this before we move on, guys. I just have to say, I don't know if you all realize this, but do y'all remember the Sacramento Monarchs and their logo?
Oh.
The Sacramento Monarchs was one of my favorite teams back in the day. They, of course, didn't last. They, they're gone now. But their logo is like somewhat reminiscent in terms of like the purple and the way the scheme goes. So here's here's a look at the Sacramento Monarchs logo. I just put it in the corner here. Here's a look at their logo, and look at the Valkyries. It's not the same purple, but it's still kind of purple.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a big Sacramento Monarchs fan. I thought that was a fantastic name. I loved that team name. Sad to see them go. But I feel like this was a little bit of their way of kind of honoring a little bit of the past, honoring the past of the WNBA in California.
Okay.
So I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Is this kind of a little bit, towards a nod towards the Sacramento Monarchs in terms of like the color and whatnot? I never really liked their logo, the Sacramento Monarchs, but I like the color scheme. I was a fan of the color scheme. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Thank you so much for joining. If you all can do us a huge favor and hit that like button, that would be fantastic, because we are about to move on from talking about the Valkyrie to talking about the various teams. All right, so we're gonna talk about a couple of teams. And as you all know, we are big Sky fans, so of course we're going to start with the Chicago Sky. Okay, so the Chicago Sky is a new look team. We are a team that doesn't really have very many players who played on the team last year. There's 3 players on the squad who actually got minutes.
That remain.
Right, Mama, what we're gonna go player by player in a sec, but what is your just overall initial thoughts about this new look, Sky?
It is definitely different. I think there's a lot more new faces, new to the NBA, as well as new to the Sky, and I'm hoping that this new look is going to bring new, not new challenges, but bring them new results than what they had last year. I'm hoping that they're at least in the top 5. I'm reaching high, you all. I'm reaching high. We barely made it to the 8th spot last year, but I'm reaching high this year to the 5th spot. That would really, really be nice. I'm glad Elizabeth did remain, and that Dana did remain, and Marina did remain. Those are 3 good players that we did have last year. So to have them to stay and the team to be built around them, that will, as a remaining people, and to bring other people in, I think it's good. And I think that we're going to see that throughout the WNBA. A lot of the teams did change dramatically, and so I'm looking forward to seeing different teams having better results than what they did last year. I think this is going to be a challenging WNBA season. I'll say that. I don't think it's going to be a where any team is going to just walk over any team particularly. I don't see that right now. That may change, but I think everybody's coming in at a high level. They made their teams better for the most part, and that makes a great season to me. So I'm looking forward to a great season from the Sky. Like I said, I would love to see them in spot number 5 by the end. That means they got to really do some work.
A whole lot of work.
But again, this is what I'm hoping for.
Y'all, Mama is literally aiming for the sky. With that, she is aiming for the sky.
Well,
all right, Mama. I hope you're right. I
but
really
you don't
do.
see it.
You
don't see it.
I don't see it, but
so what spot
right.
you see them at?
I think we're likely 8.
Oh, so in the same spot we were in last year,
maybe
then
7.
Then that's the same spot. That means nothing has changed.
No. But in the future, in about 2 or 3 years, I see us as a WNBA champ.
Okay, so
right now, I think we are figuring it out. I think we are going to be fun. We're going to be young. We're going to have a good time this year, and we are going to prepare ourselves for the future. So yes, I would love, Mama, for you to be right, and I hope I am wrong. I really do. I hope I am wrong.
Okay,
but I just because yes, the Sky, I do believe got better, but also everybody else did, and that's gonna be and we got a lot of learning to do. With some of our players. So I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. So let's go through the players real quick.
Okay.
Let's go through the players. Okay. So returning to the squad, we have Dana Evans as our point guard, PG1 for the squad this year. We have Marina Mabry, who will be the starting shooting guard again for this season. You have Elizabeth Williams, who will be at that center position. We also have Isabel Harrison. So Izzy, technically she was on the team last year, but remember she got hurt in preseason. Right. So I know I talk about 3 players returning from last year. I mean 3 significant players who were returning from last year, because she never even played a minute for the Chicago Sky in the regular season. So I don't totally count her, though technically she was on the squad last year. But Izzy is going to be our power forward, though I actually think that she actually will not be the starting power forward. Before, I thought that she was going to be the incoming starting power forward, but continue on to talk about some of the other players on this team. Angel Reese, I believe, has earned that starting power forward spot because of how she played in those first 2 preseason games. I thought Angel Reese was great.
Yeah, she
like
was.
you watched one of the games. What did you think?
I was like, I didn't think she could come in and perform like she did. So I was very surprised and happy at the same time. And I think a lot of other people were surprised that she was able to just pick up, kind of like it was as if she was still on the college court.
Yeah.
But this is the WNBA, and some people kept saying, "Oh, it's going to be such a big difference," which it is. But to her, it didn't seem any different. She played as if she was still in college, at the same level is what I'm saying. And so that was good to see, starting out even in the preseason. So I think how you start kind of like determines how you continue to progress. Mm-hmm. If you start too low, it takes so much energy to bring you up. But when you start where she's at, you can continue to go further.
Absolutely. I got some super chats. Shout out to Philip. Thank you so much for the super chat. Philip says, they may be trying to show their independence. I'm liking it. And I live in Oakland. I'll see you in Valhalla. I like that. Well, that is fantastic, Philip. I hope you are getting season tickets for the Valkyrie. I think at some point, Mama, we got to go to a game in 2025 to watch the Valkyrie play in person. Mm-hmm. In California. So that should be really fun. But anyway, shout out to you, Philip. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, they are really trying to show their independence from the Golden State team, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Shania, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate it. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Didn't mean to do that. Uh-oh. The graphic just went away. I think I accidentally deleted it. Oh no.
Did you delete it?
Yeah, I think so. That's the problem sometimes with this with the thing. Sometimes I use the scroll wheel even when I'm not actually trying to scroll something, and then it messes up. So we about to fix it.
Okay.
We're doing it live.
There we go.
All right, it's back. Oh, it looked like it was actually still there. I just made it smaller.
Oh, okay.
All right. Continuing on, talking about the Chicago Sky. Now, guys, we have some other new players on this squad. We have another center was added to the squad in Miss Camila Cardozo. She is on our squad. I'm very, very happy about it. I know you're happy about it, Mama.
Yes, I'm very happy. She's injured at this time, but I imagine as soon as she is okay to play, I think we're going to see her as well continue where she left off from college as well. And I think as a team, I think it's going to make a significant difference in that center role.
Yeah. Camilla is an extremely talented center, and she still hasn't even scratched the surface of what she has the capability of being in terms of her just being absolutely dominant. She can be dominant if she wants to. I think it's just like we've seen her dominate in college, but I feel like Donna Staley even said that, like, if Camilla like truly realized what she could be, she could be like the best center to ever play the game. She has it. It's just I think as she continues to play in the WNBA, another year under her belt, I think she's gonna get better and better and better. And when it's all said and done, Camilla, she's probably gonna go down as one of the best centers to ever play the game of women's basketball.
I hope so.
Like I think she has it. Like she has what it takes. I think it's just her like completely believing that she is her. And I'm excited about Camilla. Oh my goodness, Luminera says no more jerseys for Mom.
I have my Camilla jersey.
It's right here.
It's right here. We do have it. We do have it. That's my jersey.
Oh man, because I told them, because I said right after I ordered your jersey, Camilla got hurt.
No. So she has to play. She has to play.
I told them last year because remember the Rebecca Gardner jersey.
I know. It's just like, I'm like, am I picking the wrong player for the time or what? You know? But I pick the players that I actually like. I really do.
Yeah. And Camilla, she's gonna get healthy. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah, because it's just a shoulder injury, so she'll be. It's just time.
4 to 6 weeks. They will reevaluate later. But ultimately, she's gonna have a good season for us. Mm-hmm. Due to her being out for quite a bit, she won't be in the running for Rookie of the Year or anything like that. But I think that Camilla's going to have a great year, and I am very, very much excited for the future.
Yes.
Let's finish off sort of talking about the rest of the post players, which is Brianna Turner. Mm-hmm. So Brianna Turner was a player that we got from the Phoenix Mercury. She was included in that trade that brought brought us. They got us apart away from our franchise player in Camilla and Kalia Copper, and we I don't know. I'm interested to see how Brianna Turner does this season. Mm-hmm. I think it's sort of like one of those things where I don't see her getting a ton of playing time. I see for the most part it being all about Camilla once she gets healthy, and Angel Reese, and then Elizabeth Williams and Izzy.
Okay.
Like Brianna Turner, she's absolutely going to get a good amount of playing time while Camilla's out. But once Camilla returns, I don't see her playing a ton.
Okay.
But I think she's one of those players that can come in the game and not mess up. She can come in the game and she's not gonna score per se, but she's gonna get rebounds. She's gonna play some defense, and ultimately she's gonna help to contribute to us winning. But she's not gonna she's not gonna have a ton of points, in my opinion.
Okay,
we're gonna see her get some playing time, especially early on. But like ultimately, I don't see her getting a ton of minutes. We see some comments, guys. Thank you so much for those comments. Keep them coming. Bree Wayne says, you want Camilla to be the anchor of the team. Got to make sure she's healthy. Reese and Camilla are the face of the Chicago Sky franchise. I completely agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. Completely agree.
Yes.
Though I would say that yes, you are absolutely right, Bree Wayne. The Sky has to make sure that Camilla's ready to go. Mm-hmm. In 6 weeks, just because she says, "Oh, I'm ready to go," no, that don't mean you put her out there.
No, make sure she's healthy.
Make sure she's 100% healthy. If she has to sit for 8 weeks, whatever. Mm-hmm. Make sure this girl is all good to go.
Right.
All right. Because the last thing we need is to bring her out there too soon and have her aggravate injury and make it even worse.
Right.
So if I'm the Sky, absolutely hold her for as long as you can. All right, because we don't need further injuries from Camila Cardozo. All right, let's talk about some of the other guards that we have for this year. We have Lindsay Allen, who joined the squad this year. Lindsay Allen is a really good traditional point guard. We talk about Dana Evans and her being PG1, but you also need to make sure that you have a good backup that can come in the game, run the floor, score when she needs to, has a veteran presence, and is just someone who knows what to do when to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about that 1-2 punch that is Dana, and then when Dana's on the bench, Lindsay Allen, having her run the floor for the squad. For the shooting guards, I already talked about Marina Mabry, but Mama, we got to talk about 2 people that I am very, very excited about.
Okay.
The first one is Kennedy Carter.
Yes.
Now, Mama, you saw Kennedy
saw her
Carter
play, and I really wasn't really familiar with her. But I was like, "Woo, she's a beast on the floor." Like, wait, where did she come from? Like, where did she come from? She wasn't a draft pick, was she?
She was drafted a couple of years ago into the WNBA.
Okay.
It didn't work out. Okay. It didn't work out. Her with the Atlanta Dream, and then her with the LA Sparks. Kennedy Carter she's lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
And the fact that she was out of the league is just a shocker. She was the 4th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft.
Okay.
She's from Texas A&M. She is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's
fun to watch.
Engaging, exciting. But ultimately, her time with Atlanta and the Sparks, it just didn't end up right. Like the situation was not in a good spot. Okay. And I think she got labeled as a problematic player, which is why she was out of the league last year. And she went overseas, learned a lot more. She was able to, understand herself better, understand the game better. And when it was time to come back to the WNBA, it was like, okay, well, what team is going to pick Kennedy Carter up? Because the thing is, everybody knows Kennedy Carter can play. Like that was never the issue. It was a culture and attitude fit. There were some things that happened, and the teams were like, actually, no, we don't. We can't have you on this team no more.
Okay.
And Teresa Weatherspoon was like, nah,
she can handle it.
I'm not worried about you. Mm-hmm. You want to play basketball,
right?
I want to coach basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to thrive here. I'm going to allow you to be you. I am not going to change you, but I'm going to help elevate you. That's what Teresa Weatherspoon said to Kennedy Carter.
Okay.
That's what I'm imagining she said to Kennedy Carter. And Kennedy was like, yeah, okay, I'm down. Because the issue, I feel like the issues in the past is that the coaches and whatnot, they were trying to change Kennedy Carter.
And you can't necessarily change a person. Mm-hmm. You can always make them better. But changing them, that's like reimagining them. And he's like, how can I become somebody I've been all my life? You're going to change who I am, even as a basketball player. You can make me better, but changing even the way I look at myself, you got to be able to identify yourself. So that's good.
Yeah. So
I think that's a good fit for her.
Great fit.
I think it's a good fit. I think Witherspoon can do a whole lot for a lot of women that are talented and high strung. She can deal with it, and she can bring them in and get them to the place where they bring the best of them out. Mm-hmm. And that's all you want. Bring the best of them out.
Yeah, and that's why I truly believe Teresa Weatherspoon was the perfect fit for the Chicago Sky, and I am so happy she's on she's coaching our team, because I really don't know who else brings Kennedy Carter in but Teaspoon.
Well, I think Becky Hammond could do it too. I think Becky Hammond would be able to.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I could see Becky Hammond.
Yeah. That's possible. But I'm happy Kennedy is with our team. Mm-hmm. Kennedy is going to, guys, 6th Woman of the Year right there. I'm just saying. I'm calling it now, guys. I'm calling it now. 6th Woman of the Year, Kennedy Carter. All right? I'm calling it. And if she doesn't win, it's because she's starting too much.
Because she can't be a starter.
She can't be a consistent starter,
right? Because she has to be coming off the bench.
Yeah. So I think 6th Woman of the Year. I'm saying it, unless they just put her in the starting lineup, which actually might happen as we really get into the season. Let's go down the rest of the folks who are joining the squad. We have Kaiser Gondrezick. Now, Mama, I'm not sure how familiar you were
I'm not
Kaiser.
familiar with her at all.
So Kaiser was also, I believe she was also the 4th pick in the WNBA draft a couple years ago. She was drafted by the Indiana Fever. She was she was a really good player in college. And then when it came down to the WNBA, I think ultimately, you know, it just didn't work out. It just her time with the Indiana Fever, she didn't get that many minutes. She wasn't that productive. The key for Kaiser is healthy.
Okay.
The key for her is staying healthy. If this girl can stay healthy, she can score.
Okay.
We've seen her do it in college. I think when it comes to the WNBA, she's going to be able to do that. Again, she was picked as the 4th pick in the 2021 draft, and I think she has a lot of potential, and she has shown everybody that she's back. We saw in preseason, she was scoring. She was absolutely scoring in preseason, and she beat out Brittney Maxwell for that final position. She beat her out. Yes, Brittney Maxwell was injured, but Kaiser was playing so well that it felt like the Sky were like, you know what? We got to roll with Kaiser. And I am excited about it. I think Kaiser is going to get some really good minutes. I think she is going to be a fun player to watch. She's ready. She's ready to play some basketball. She's focused, and she's gonna have a good time with the Chicago Sky. I'm very excited that she's on the squad. Congratulations to her. I am sad that we won't see Brittney Maxwell, but that's the reality of it. The Sky cannot have 13 players. They can only have 12, and somebody has to go. And Brittney was a player who had to go, but Kaiser's going to have a really good season for us. Is she going to get a ton of minutes? Not totally. But I do think when she does get in the game, I think she's gonna be impressive, and she's gonna make some stuff happen. So shout out to Kaiser Kondrazik. Congratulations for making the final roster. Now, Mom, we talked about 10 players already. We just got 2 more players for this guy to talk about.
Yes, Diamond Shields. Diamond was one of my favorite players when she was with the Sky before. She was like a scrappy player before. Not sure what she is today because I haven't seen her really play for the preseason. But I'm hoping that she is the same type of player that she was in the past. And she was always able to bring us those minutes, that burst of energy, I would say. She's another one of those type of players. So hopefully she will do the same. I don't think she's going to be a starter, though. Right?
Yeah. It's sort of... I'm not sure if it's going to be Diamond or Michaela Onyenwere who will get that starting nod. I'm happy Diamond is back with the squad. It's where it all really started for her with the Chicago Sky, her winning that championship and whatnot. She left us for a little bit. Now she's back. I'm not totally sure if she starts. Okay. So here's the possibilities. I think either Teresa Weatherspoon can start off having Michaela Onyenwere as a starting small forward for the squad. And if that doesn't work out, she's starting Kennedy Carter.
Okay.
Now I think it makes the most sense to try to see if either Diamond or Michaela can start at that 3 position. But if the Sky doesn't get off to those fast starts
that they
need, Kennedy's going to get that starting nod.
Okay.
So which means that she would not win 6th Woman of the Year. But I ultimately think we got a fun squad. Michaela Onyenwere, she's from she played at with the Liberty. Is a player who can score, a player who can play some defense and whatnot. I'm cool with our squad. Again, everybody on our team is going to play. We saw it in preseason where Teresa Weatherspoon, she was just
moving them in and out.
Yeah, like clockwork, and it worked out. It worked out very well. So I see even Brianna Turner. I said that I didn't see her playing too many minutes, but she's still going to play a lot. She's still probably going to play at least 10 minutes a game. Because players are just going to continue to be moving in and out. And
I think that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Yeah.
I think when teams rely all the time on their starting five, and then the other players just sit on the bench and then when somebody get hurt, now you want them to get out there and perform as if they've been playing all the time. I think if all players get a chance to at least step on the floor, I think they all need to step on the floor. Step on the floor. Give them if it's no more than 2 minutes, give them some time. Then it'll make them like, okay, I'll be ready whenever they call me. But if they like, oh, I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to get in the game at all. I'm just going to sit here and ride the bench. Nobody want to ride the bench, you know? And there is a space for everybody to get on the floor and play on every team. You don't have to keep them out there forever, but give them some playing time. You know, then you make everybody important. That's the way I see it.
Yo, why mama always spitting facts, man? Why she always spitting facts? Andrew says Chicago lacks depth at point guard. Might consider Sherrod pickup. No, Andrew. I'm sorry. I completely disagree with you on that one. No. Chicago's fine. I don't think we need any more point guards. No. We got Dana Evans, point guard. We got Lindsey Allen. You know, we're good. I like Jalen Sherrod. Jalen Sherrod is fun. She is an exciting player. She can play some defense. She can score. I really, really enjoyed watching her play for Colorado. But no, the Chicago Sky are fine.
Yeah, Dana's our number one.
Yeah, we are all good. We don't need another point guard. We don't. I'm sorry, Andrew. I gotta disagree with you on that one. I gotta disagree. I'm sorry. Nah, we good. We good over here. We don't. I think we have the players that we need. I don't see anybody else joining the squad because who you gonna take out?
Right.
You know, I really think we're gonna be a good team. Mama's saying we're gonna be 5. You know,
but you disagreeing with me.
I'm saying we're gonna be 7 or 8. But regardless, we are going to have a really good year.
Yes.
This is a great year to be a Chicago Sky fan. It is all up from here. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it. Mama's excited about it. I hope y'all are excited about it because we've got to see some fantastic Sky basketball. And also, a thing to note, guys, is that we didn't even hit our salary cap. So we actually have $165,000 left on in salary money for the Chicago Sky. So in the event that we have several players get severely hurt or whatever, we will have the finances to be able to bring someone else in. So in terms of that, I think we are good. I think we are very, very good.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the look at the Chicago Sky. But Mama, before we go finish talking about the Chicago Sky, let's talk about what I am calling the Angel Reese effect. Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, talk about the Caitlin effect. And yes, Caitlin Clark brings people out, gets people to engaged in watching women's basketball and all that good stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Caitlin Clark is great. But guys, I also want to remind y'all that Angel Reese is that girl. Mm-hmm. She is that girl who can...
bring out the people.
Bring out the people, bring up the entertainment value, and she you know, she's a star in her own right. Mm-hmm. You know, has more followers than everybody in the WNBA, including Caitlin Clark, including all the teams. And I'ma just say this, guys. We talk about growing the game. We talk about teams selling out arenas and whatnot, and that's fantastic. But guys, the Washington Mystics 4 hours ago said that they are actually moving the location of their game versus the Sky to the Capital One Arena. So Capital One Arena is where the Washington Wizards actually play. It's where the Mystics used to play before they got moved over, and now they play at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in DC, which is a very, very small arena. Doesn't even hold 5,000 fans. But we saw what Angel Reese can do in terms of the star power she is and getting people to do stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, they got to move arenas, Mom. What do you think?
I think that's awesome. That shows the power of her name, and people want to see her play. So they're doing the right thing of getting a new spot, because why miss out on the funds, the FUNDS, as well as the FUN. Why miss out on that when you have an opportunity to do this and you know you're going to get both? And people are going to be happy, because if they did not move the arena, there would be a lot of people that would be upset that they could not get to that game to see her in person play. You know, and also I think they want to see the game itself, but her coming is what's doing all this.
That's the draw. Yeah,
her coming is what's doing it.
And she's from Baltimore.
And 5,000 seats are not a lot. It's That's not a lot for any game. Just a regular game is not a lot. So you're talking about a star player coming. It's like, no, you got to move it. Let's get it. Get the biggest arena that we can get, so we can have some space and make some FUNDS.
Yes.
Okay. Don't miss out on that.
Yeah, and if who knows if the Washington Mystics can continue to sell out games and whatnot, maybe eventually they will be back at the Capital One Arena. Eventually, they used to be there, but they got moved because people weren't really coming to games, and they can actually make the arenas can actually make a lot more money, with concerts and whatnot, and so maybe this is the start. They're also going to have the game against the Fever at the Capital One Arena as well.
That's going to be an awesome game too.
And I think this is just a start for some of these W teams that have very, very small arenas, for them to just see what can be done if you have a larger arena in terms of income that you can make and whatnot. And don't forget, guys, she's from Baltimore. Angel Reese is from Baltimore. It's not that far. Right. It's not that far from DC. So fans are going to come out in droves. And it's about to be fun to watch. So shout out to the Washington Mystics for changing that venue location. Shout out to Angel Reese for just being her. I'm just saying, guys, it's the Angel Reese effect. I'm pretty sure we're not going to hear that many people talking about the Angel Reese effect, but it is a real thing. It is a real thing. Not only does she have a bunch of followers and just like regular people who don't even like basketball that much, but support her and like her and want to come out and support. She also is going to be bringing celebrities in the building. Right. She was just at the Met Gala hanging out with Cardi B. Said she talked to Usher. Said Usher said he's coming. Usher said he's coming to a game. Cardi B said she's coming to a game. She got Caleb Williams, the number 1 draft pick for the Chicago Bears. He went to the preseason game. We are going to see. We're going to see this. We're going to see the Chicago Sky be a team to watch. Right. They're going to be a team to watch. And yes, because it's going to be the style of our play. I think we're going to be a fun squad. But it is the Angel Reese effect that will be raring to go for the Sky this year. And I very much am very, very, very excited about it. Okay.
And I'm glad they're announcing it early enough so that people can get those tickets. So they'll know that they have a chance. But they still got to get their tickets. I guarantee they're going to go fast too.
So if y'all live in the DC or Baltimore area, Angel Reese is coming to a spot near you. So make sure
to a spot near you.
Make sure y'all get these tickets, man. Show your support for one of the faces of the league in Angel Reese. Show your support for women's basketball. Buy those tickets because, guys, the only way the Mystics can eventually move to the Capital One Arena full time is if you buy the tickets. You have to buy the tickets. You have to support the WNBA. Support it. Don't just complain. Put your money where your mouth is, and make it happen. Okay. Thank you so much.
And I would say that for all the teams.
Yes.
Let's support. If you're in any area that has a WNBA team, let's support that team because that's how the league is going to expand even more so. They have to have the support of the general public.
Yes. All right, fans. So come out. Kimya says, is the Sky televised tonight or streaming a link? Well, the Sky actually don't play tonight. The Sky do not play tonight. So here's the teams that play tonight. We have the Liberty versus the Mystics. That game is at 6 p.m. on ESPN 3. We have the Indiana Fever playing the Connecticut Sun at 6:30 Central Time. That game is on ESPN2. Also, it is on Disney Plus. Mama, did you know Disney Plus got?
I didn't know. They in it too, right?
It's a new thing.
So they see the potential.
It's a new thing. Yeah, Disney Plus is now going to air some
WNBA
select
game.
WNBA games. So that's going to be kind of cool. At 9 p.m. Central Time, we have Phoenix versus Las Vegas. Again, that one's on ESPN2 and Disney Plus. And then at 9 p.m., we have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Seattle Storm. That game is on ESPN3. Now, those are the 8 teams that are playing. All right, so the Chicago Sky are not playing today. They're playing tomorrow. Now, tomorrow they actually play at 7 p.m. versus the Dallas Wings. That game is on WNBA League Pass, okay? So you need WNBA League Pass to watch that game. But, guys, if you don't have it, I believe that game is one of those free games for WNBA League Pass.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So I don't even think you have to pay for it, okay? All right. So guys, let's continue on. We talked about the Chicago Sky. We talked about the Sky Effect. Now let's kind of talk about some of the other teams real quick. So Mama, the Indiana Fever. So now this Indiana Fever team, last year they were pretty trash, right? But they looked way better last year than they did in years past. Last year was one of the best years they had in a while. Mm-hmm. And they bring in a huge name, and a name that a lot of people are saying is going to change the way that people think about Indiana Fever basketball. And that name is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is now on the squad for the Indiana Fever. Here's some other names on the squad as well. We have Erica Wheeler, who is the leader of the squad, vet on the squad. She is going to be likely a backup point guard for the Indiana Fever. We also have Grace Berger, who had a fantastic career at Indiana, like when she was in college at Indiana University. She had a pretty decent year last year. She is in her second year, and she's trying to really amp the game up and get a lot better. And she looked pretty good in preseason, and I am excited to see possibly her as a point guard and Caitlin Clark as a shooting guard at some instances of the game. We also have Kelsey Mitchell. We have Christy Wallace, Celeste Taylor. Kelsey Mitchell is one of the best shooting guards in the WNBA. She can shoot the lights out. She is slightly injured right now, and so that's something that the team has to sort of think about. But she should be raring to go pretty soon. But yeah, Celeste Taylor, new player, defensive-minded, rookie. One of the rare rookies who actually made the squad. Maybe sometime in the future we'll talk about the rookies, Mama, because
okay.
A lot of them get cut like normal.
Yeah, I know. But last year I think it hit to the heart. Last year,
last year was bad.
Last year was really bad. I was so outdone. All the new players that came in and got cut. It was like how.
But they also got Chrissy Wallace, vet, shooting guard, been in the league for a little bit. We have Katie Lou Samuelson, who was new to the squad, new mom. And she's raring to go and letting people know that, hey, Katie Lou can still play some basketball. We got Lexi Hull as well. Another really good player who can come off the bench and make some stuff happen for the Indiana Fever. You have Nalissa Smith, in my opinion, one of the best young players in the league, and someone who's going to really make some stuff happen for this team this year. Demiris Dantas. Now Demiris Dantas, she was in the league for a little while. Okay. She wasn't in the league last year. She is going to be a late arrival, so that's why if you actually see the bubbles, there's actually 13 bubbles. So there's 13 players on their roster, but you're like, hey, it's supposed to be 12, right? Well, it's because Demiris Dantas has actually been suspended. They suspended her due to prioritization rules. So she had some visa issues. Also, she did have a death in her family. And so that is an exception that the league is making in terms of saying that yes, she can join the squad later on. So definitely prayers up for Demiris Dantas for that. And eventually she will join the squad. Once she does join the squad, likely we will see Victoria Saxon or Timmy Fag-Benley.
One of them being cut.
One of them being cut. I think it's likely going to be Victoria Saxon, but we'll see what happens. Demiris Dantas is phenomenal when she's on the court. She's very, very talented, but she will join the team later on. Also, I mean, I can't talk about the Indiana Fever without talking about Miss Aaliyah Boston.
I know.
Right?
She was the one that brought it last year. She was the one that brought the Fever name back up because every time you thought about Indiana, it's like, oh, just Indiana. But Aaliyah Boston changed that last year. She was like, oh, we here. We gonna make a name for ourselves, and she did. She put Indiana back on the map last year.
Yeah.
She did. Because I thought, like, every time I would see them, like, oh, they not doing anything. And Leah Boston came in the game. She was like, oh, no, we about to play. We about to change this whole thing. I remember that. I was like, I started wanting to watch them out. Before then, I wasn't watching them. But after, Aaliyah Boston, I like to see her play, too. And I can't even imagine with Caitlin Clark joining them, how different it's going to change the whole team's dynamic and the just the desire for them to reach the top. They got some ways to go, but I could see them being in the top 5 and 6 there for this year too. I could see that right now based on how they played last year and with the addition of Caitlin. Come on, that's offense, and that's what the game is about. It's defense, but offense wins the game. If you don't put no points on the game, you can play defense all day, but if you ain't putting no points, it don't matter. You got to put some points on the board, and that's what Caitlin is going to do. And she's going to make it easier for everybody else because she knows how to pass the ball to get the shots off. So if she can't get it, she going to get it to another player that can get the shot. And she can feed it down low too. So this is something that Caitlin brings to help Aaliyah Boston to make her game easier at the rim. That's what I think.
Yeah. Mama, you like Aaliyah Boston? At least Aaliyah Boston came to the Fever and was like, "Oh no, I don't lose. Right. I don't lose, guys. We can't keep losing like this. We can't." She was like, "We got to change this around."
Yeah, she said, "I don't play no losing team."
And then in the off season, she was like, "Okay, let me interview," because she has a position with the Big Ten, and she had an interview with Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
And that was another opportunity for Aaliyah to be like, okay, I don't want us to be bad. So I need to recruit. I need to get Caitlin Clark on this team. I need to get Caitlin Clark to declare for the WNBA draft because I don't want to lose. I'm not a loser. Caitlin Clark's not a loser.
No, she's
so
not.
we about to come together and make the Indiana Fever some winners. So I mean, I'm just saying.
So they're going to be a fun team to watch.
They are.
They're going to be a fun team to watch.
They are. I'm projecting maybe a 6 seed, a 5 or a 6 seed, for Indiana this year. I think they're going to be very good. And it's going to be a fun team to watch. So
yes.
So get your popcorn ready. You about to see a show. All right. A thing to note, guys. Is that the Indiana Fever actually, they do have a little bit of cap space still left. They have around $24,000 left in cap space, even with those 13 players on the roster. So that's one of the good things about having so many young players. In terms of cap space, you're good. You're good. And so in the event that someone gets hurt and you need to bring someone in for a hardship contract or something like that, you're covered. So that's something that's really, really good. Lots of players did leave the Indiana Fever from last year. We saw Victoria Vivians, who was actually bought out of her contract for the Fever. We saw Emma Cannon leave in free agency. She's now with the Las Vegas Aces. We saw Mike Caldwell was released. Amanda Zowie B, was with the team last year. They didn't sign her back for this year. So this is a slightly different team than last year, and they are ready. They're ready to go. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for them to really like lock down in those passes that Caitlin Clark be passing.
Yeah, because she can do some passes.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of adjustment period, right? It's an adjustment period about her knowing how to pass it, like how Aaliyah wants the ball, how Nalissa Smith wants the ball, versus how they are looking to expect the ball from her.
Right.
Because, Caitlin Clark is a very pass-friendly point guard. We see all the points that she scores, and a lot of people hone in on that and the logo threes and all that stuff. But, guys, she is, in a lot of ways, she plays like a pass-first point guard. It's just that she is a pass-first point guard that has range for days.
Yeah. And that's the scary part.
If she sees an opening, you might get hit in the face. If you ain't paying attention, you might get hit in the face.
I think they're going to be prepared for her because they watched her play. So I think most of them are going to be ready, looking for her to pass when she doesn't have a shot.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be pretty fun. David says, you and Mom are really good together. I mean, I've known her all my life. So I mean, it's understandable that we're good together. Let's see. Let's see what else y'all have to say. High Vibration says, nope, Gamecocks not used to losing at all. Championship mentality. Yeah, they do have a championship mentality. Like that is something that exudes Dawn Staley. And all of her players. That's where they
get it from.
That's where they get it from, y'all. That's where they get it from. So I mean, shout out to Dawn Staley.
Hey,
she
produces winners.
She does. She does. She does.
Can't argue with that.
There's nothing you can say about it. Don't hate, appreciate. I mean, emulate. Try to make some stuff happen. Try to make some stuff happen. JB says, I agree. I am living for this Mama Quita duo. Michaela says, the next 2 years for the Fever, y'all better watch out. I agree with y'all. I agree. There are some questions about the games that are happening today. So Lil, the games will actually be on ESPN 3/League Pass, ESPN 2, and also ESPN. So the first game, starting at 6 with the Liberty, that one's on ESPN 3/WNBA League Pass. The other two games are on ESPN 2 and Disney Plus. Is a back-to-back doubleheader game, and then the final game of the evening is at is going to be on ESPN 3 and League Pass. All right. So go to WNBA.com/schedule, and it'll just walk you through all of those games. All right. Honestly says, what it do, Q and my Dukes? Where you get the my Dukes from? Where you get that from? I don't get it, but it's funny. Let's see. Yeah. CAC, yeah, the Indiana Fever are selling tickets like crazy. And that's because fans are excited that the Indiana Fever are actually going to be pretty good.
Right.
And that's fun. The Indiana Fever used to be really good. Remember Tamika Catchings?
Yep.
That
girl was so
she
good.
put that team on her back, and she refused to lose. She won a WNBA championship. She was the end all be all. Nobody else wanted to go to Indiana really. And she retired. Indiana fell off completely, and now
they're back.
Indiana Fever are back, and the fans are excited for it. The fans are happy about it, and it's about to be a fun time. It's about to be a really, really fun time. So shout out to the Indiana Fever. You know, y'all gonna have some winning basketball. Y'all gonna have some great basketball. Oh, Michaela says people be calling other my Dukes nowadays. Don't know where it came from though. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. All right. Thank you for
clarifying.
I appreciate it. Honestly says my Dukes is a Philly / New York slang for a cool mom. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Thank y'all for educating me, because I guess I'm out of the loop on that one. That's an East Coast thing. I guess it ain't a Chicago thing. I ain't never heard of it. Deborah says, Quita, I'm watching from Ghana. Ooh. Is Mama's jersey of Cardozo in yet? Yes. Mama, you want to show it?
We want to show it to you. There she is. Cardozo. I have it.
She got her Camila Cardozo jersey. And so yeah.
But it came in last weekend, right?
Yeah, it came in last week. Yeah, I just never brought it over there, so I was like, oh, she's gonna come over here soon, so I'll save it and give it to her then. We gotta take some pictures, okay? We gotta take some pictures. Jeremy says, Quita, I want to know your mom's position on the charter flight. So, Mama, we gonna get into that after we done.
Okay.
We gonna quickly go through the rest of these teams real quick. We're just gonna go through. We're just gonna go through. We're gonna talk about the Phoenix Mercury, and we can do the Connecticut Sun, and then we'll
go to the charter fights.
Yeah,
okay.
And then end it from there.
Okay.
All right, but if you all are enjoying this conversation, if you all can please do us a huge favor and hit that like button, that would be fantastic. Wherever you're watching this from, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, whatever. If you are watching this, we appreciate you. We thank you so much for rocking out with us. Show Mama some love and hit that like button. Also, guys, leave a comment about what topic you want Mama to cover.
Oh wow!
All right, because y'all seem to love Mama's conversations about stuff. So leave a comment in the chat about stuff that y'all want Mama to talk about. All right. Okay. All right, Mama. Let's move on. Let's talk about
Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just kind of do like a quick overview about the Phoenix Mercury, and then Mama, I really want to get your opinions about the Phoenix Mercury, because this is gonna be an interesting team this year. So if you don't know, the Phoenix Mercury, they're a team that has an opening day roster of 11 players, and they are a team that is very, very young, and not young. I'm sorry, very old, I should say. They're a team that's very old, and the reason why they only have 11 roster spots is because they have so many veterans that they cannot afford to have 12 players. So after 11 players are on the roster, they have not even $2,000 left in cap space. They have $1,000 left in cap space, which means
that's nothing.
It means that if several people get really hurt, it means they don't really have any money to bring anybody in on a
in the squad,
1 week contract or something like that. Like,
that's crazy.
They don't have any money left, and that's the result of having a player like a Dinah Taurasi, who's been in the league for forever, and because of that, she has a huge contract. You also have the likes of Kalia Copper, Brittney Griner, Natasha Cloud, players who have had a very, very long career so far in the WNBA and are deservedly so given a bigger contract. But the issue is, it's hard to have a ton of vets on your team, especially a lot of older vets, because you just don't have the money. And if injuries come about, you are screwed. So, Mama, let's kind of quickly go through this list of
Okay.
players real quick. So we got Beck Allen, who used to play for the Connecticut Sun. Now she's with the Phoenix Mercury. We have Morgan Birch, which is a familiar name to us.
Yes.
She played
Chicago
for the Chicago
Sky.
Sky. Yeah. I like Morgan.
I know. I loved her too.
I liked her. And she was brought over to the Sky. Sky got her rights in the trade that brought Clea Copper to us. We also have Natasha Cloud on the team. Natasha Cloud was, in my opinion, one of the top point guards in the league last year. She played for the Washington Mystics, and everybody is leaving the Washington Mystics. I don't know what's going on there. Elena Deladon said, "I'm not playing." Natasha Cloud said, "I'm not re-signing with this team," and she's now at Phoenix. She was hoping to go to a winner, and we're gonna talk about whether or not I actually think this team is gonna be a win.
What happened?
They got Clea Copper.
Copper.
Once a Sky player, always a Sky player.
Yeah, we love Clea.
We gonna ride with Copper. I'm sad that she requested to leave, but players got to do what players got to do. So much respect for her for making that decision to leave the Chicago Sky and ask for that trade. So she's down with the squad. Will for sure be a starter and a huge key player for the Phoenix Mercury. We also have Sophie Cunningham.
I like Sophie.
Talk about
Sophie
Mama.
plays her
Talk about
heart
Sophie.
out. Sophie will get under your skin. She's one of those players that's going to play her heart out. If her team is down and she needs to come in and bring some she's another player that brings energy to the team. And I remember a couple years ago she was playing like a wild girl. That's why I call her like wild girl. Like, why is she playing so wild? But what she does, she gets under your skin to the point you're gonna miss the shot or you're gonna foul her. And when she does have the ball, she takes the ball and she can go all the way down the court and try to make a shot. So I like Sophie. I'm hoping that this year, because last year she didn't play as good as she did the year before. I don't know what happened last year, but I like Sophie as a player. I do. She's a scrappy player, and again, she likes to get under your skin. She's one of those players. And see,
I mean,
look at that what you showing right now.
She do like to get in people's skin.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't remember, y'all remember this moment? Y'all remember this? During the playoffs, we saw Clea Copper get after Sophie Cunningham. And guys, people put this on t-shirts. People was going crazy in this moment. Like, this was a whole thing right here. And to think.
Now
These two players,
they're now teammates.
All right. Smiling together, teammates. Like that is just times have changed, right?
Yes.
Times have changed. So yeah, I mean, a lot of Mama, you one of the rare people who seem to like Sophie Cunningham. I like her too, but a lot of people, I've seen a lot of comments from people about people saying they can't stand Sophie Cunningham. I think she's fun in a lot of ways. She reminds me so much of Marina Mabry.
Really?
Because
But Marina is not as wild, I would say.
They both got attitude.
Well, they go, yeah,
for days.
but
they both got.
Sophie, it's just the way she comes up the floor with the ball, or if she's defending you, it's like she all on you. Like, it's like, wait a minute, give me some space. But I'm just saying, she gonna make you foul. She gonna make you turn it over, or she gonna make you give up the ball. It's just.
I guess as similar as I see is both of them are very emotional players.
Yes, they are. Yes,
she is
very emotional.
Both emotional players.
I agree with that.
And
I agree with that.
And I think and there's a lot of people who just don't seem to like her. But I like Sophie Cunningham. I think Sophie Cunningham is fun. If she was on your team, you want that. That's absolutely the thing. You want that.
Absolutely. What's her name that was on the Sky last year? Williams. Courtney.
Courtney. Yeah.
Courtney to me is the same type of player as Sophie.
Yep.
So when she's not on our team, no, you don't like her. But when she's on your team, you love it.
Yep.
But as a player, I love them as what they do for the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it.
she's fun. She's fun. Let's see. Bree Wayne says can't stand Sophie. She grabs people's like, and she gets those
She
foul
gets those calls.
against her.
Yeah,
she gets those calls against her. Jeremy's funny. Jeremy said, "I like Sophie Kim. I appreciate the spicy way." I mean, she got some spunk to it. I love it. If I was a Phoenix fan, I would be Sophie Cunningham would be my favorite player.
But
if I was a Phoenix Mercury fan.
need more Sophies. We need more Copper. We need more Marina. We need more of what's her name? Courtney Williams. We need more players like this because they change the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
And when you have a team that's down and they need some energy, these are the players you want to put in. Mm-hmm. You want to have them on the floor.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Dana used to be our person they used to bring off the bench and bring us energy and get us 3-pointers, shoot, boom, boom, boom. That's what she used to do. So every team needs somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Monica says, I really enjoy watching the emotional players. Yeah. I see it and to me there's like it works out really, really well. But the key is to not let these players go too far.
Right.
Emotional players, I love it. Mm-hmm. But they have to have an agreement between the player and the coach just for the coach to be able to say, hey,
bring it
a little
back.
bit too far.
Yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back a little bit, and then the player actually listens. Like I think absolutely love emotional players. I think they make the game fun. Mm-hmm. I think they really bring an energy to the game, but they have to have a relationship with the coach to not go too far.
Right.
All right. So let's go back to Phoenix.
Sorry, we got on Sophie. Sorry.
But they also have Liz Dixon on their team. I'm actually really happy that she's with the squad. I think she's gonna bring a decent amount of size for them going forward. Especially with the fact that Brittney Griner is out. And speaking of Brittney Griner, let's talk about Brittney Griner right now. So Brittney Griner, she has fractured a toe, and she is out indefinitely.
Really? Mm-hmm. This is going to change the dynamic of their team.
100%. 100%. It's gonna change everything for this squad because now
who's going to play their center?
You got 10 players. That's the I think that's the question right there. That's the question. But the player that I think for the most part will likely get that starting nod is probably Liz Dixon because she is the second tallest player on the squad.
Okay.
And so it's a good thing that they have her to sort of be that backstop. Also, I think Morgan Birch is going to get
I forgot
quite
Morgan.
a bit of minutes.
Okay, that's right. She did play that position.
So yeah, they're gonna backstop with her. But the fact that Brittney Griner has a fracture, they said she's out indefinitely. They're gonna reevaluate her in several weeks. To me, I think if you are the Phoenix Mercury, you are upset that you let Megan Gustafson go. Megan Gustafson was on this team last year. She was with the Phoenix Mercury. Now she's with the Las Vegas Aces. She would have been the perfect player to jump into that starting role. Liz Dixon, I think can also make some stuff happen, but she is a younger player, right? This is only going to be her second year in the W, and they're going to struggle a lot because of that. They won't have a veteran presence as that center position, which is absolutely huge for this squad. So to me, I think that is the nail in the coffin that really does signify that this Phoenix Mercury team that we thought was actually going to be pretty good this year.
Yes, we thought so.
They're not. If Brittney Griner, I'm thinking she's probably out for at least the first half of the season, at least, if not more. And
when she comes back, she probably they're not gonna let her come back unless she's kind of like 100%, right?
And it might be too late
because the toe is a big significant part. You can't if your toe is kind of like not ready.
She can't run.
You can't run. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
No, you got to get that toe. Got to get. Ooh.
It's gonna be tough. And now she's out. We have 10 players for the Phoenix Mercury.
Really, no cap space.
No cap space. So in the event that someone else gets hurt, you are screwed. What are you going to do?
Right.
What are you going to do when you dip under 10 spots? Yes, the league will allow you to pick someone up, but who can you pick up? You don't have any money. Like who can you pick up? You know, and that's one of the tough parts. Yes, Diana Taurasi is on this squad. Let's just talk about her right now. Diana Taurasi is a WNBA legend. She's had a phenomenal career in the WNBA. You know, when you talk about women's basketball, yeah, one of the top names you're talking about is Diana Taurasi. What she was able to do, it's fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. But
how many years have she been in?
Guys, she's been in the league for forever. 19 years in the WNBA.
19 years.
Yeah. That's a long time, ain't it, mama? 19 years doing the same thing. And that's not totally
it's just amazing that she's still able to play, and she is able to play well. She in her position, she's able to play well. Now, can she do what they need to do for the team? Probably not, but she is still able to play well.
Yeah. So guys, you know, they're paying Diana Taurasi $234,000 on the year, which, you know, she's
deserving of the money.
Absolutely. She has done a fantastic job, sort of being a one of the faces of the league. She's done great. But at some point, it becomes detrimental to the squad to have players on the team that are taking up a huge amount of the cap space and may not even play the entire season. But I will say, guys, just so you all know, the highest paid player on this team this year is actually Kahleah Copper. Kahleah Copper is getting $241,000 this season with the Phoenix Mercury. She did sign a max contract with the Chicago Sky. Brittney Griner actually took a pretty huge pay cut. She took a huge pay cut, actually. She's only getting paid $150,000. And the reason why she actually was like kind of like a late signee for the team, and the reason why is because I think she wanted to sort of make sure that she was under the cap space and make sure that the Phoenix Mercury was actually able to field a team, and they just barely fielded a team. But now with her injured, it makes us wonder. Okay, well, what else can you do? Because Diana Taurasi, again, fantastic player, had a great pass in the WNBA, but you know we've seen her get injured over the years. We've seen her get injured. Last year she only played 26 games. In 2021 she only played 16. 19.
Well, she's an older player.
Yeah,
she's an older player.
She's an older player, but she's on the roster. And if you only have 11 players on your team, now 10 due to Brittney Griner getting hurt, at some point you have to say, "I'm sorry, we can't take the cap risk." Clearly, this isn't one of those years, but maybe at the end of this year, maybe that's her moment.
Well, because this year's already decided. Yeah. But, hey, wow.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things. And also, just so you all know, Diana Taurasi will be 42 this year. She's 41 right now, will be 42. The fact that she is still playing basketball,
I know, this is amazing.
That is amazing. It truly is. It truly is.
It's amazing.
You know, shout out to her personal trainer. So whoever's been working out Diana Taurasi, the fact that she is still playing at that age, like, that's phenomenal.
But her teammate retired, 2 years ago, Sue Bird. Was it 2 years ago?
Yes.
She just retired 2 years ago.
Yeah, her Olympic teammate.
Yeah. So she played till she couldn't play no more, you know. So I guess they wait till they just can't do it anymore for a year. I mean, if she didn't get hurt, it would be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the older you are, the more likely it is that you may succumb some injuries. It's just with life. Just like as we're growing older, you're going to deal with some things just because of age. but it's amazing. Is she the oldest player ever?
I think she might be.
Okay.
I got to do some research to guarantee that, but I feel like she might be. Definitely the oldest player in recent WNBA history.
Okay.
And again, normally this is not a problem, but the fact that
they have no cap space.
They have no cap space, and this injury to Brittney Griner just exacerbates everything. If Brittney Griner was healthy and everybody else was healthy, I don't think this is that big of a deal.
Right.
But the position they're in, with the fact that they only have $1,000 in cap space, means they don't have room. They don't have room to really do anything in terms of having other players come in and step into the team and make some stuff happen. So that's gonna be tough. That's one of the things that we have to look out for the Phoenix Mercury. But let's just go through 3 more players, then we'll finish up. We'll be done with the Phoenix Mercury. So we got to talk about Kiki Herbert Harrigan. So Kiki Herbert Harrigan, they called her Mad Kiki when she was in college. Y'all, I am a huge fan of Kiki Herbert Harrigan. She is a player who really did earn her spot for the Phoenix Mercury this year. I was not totally sure if she was going to play. She played overseas. Is another product of Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks. And I think she's going to be forced to play a lot of minutes this year, and I think she's really going to show us what she can do on the basketball court. I'm excited for her. I think she's going to have a pretty good season. She hasn't been in the WNBA in years. Her last season was in 2021. Again, she did play overseas. I believe she played in Britain this past off season. And we gonna see what Mad Kiki could do. We gonna see what she can do. But I am so happy that she made the roster. I'm so happy that she's back in the WNBA. And guys, she is just another example of just because a team cuts you does not mean your career's over. You can still come back to the WNBA. If you work hard overseas, you grind it out, you play well, someone's gonna be like, oh man, this person's balling, and they're gonna bring you back. Okay, so shout out to Kiki Herbert Harrigan. Mad Kiki is back in the W, and I am excited about what she is going to do this year. We also have Natasha Mack. Natasha Mack is another player who is back in the WNBA. Also, Mama, I don't know if you remember this, but Natasha Mack had a really, really, really fast career with the Chicago Sky.
I remember her name. I just don't remember her play.
Yeah. She had a very, very quick time with the Chicago Sky. She's back in the WNBA. Again, another example of just because someone cuts you does not mean it's over for you. It does not mean it's over. Keep grinding, keep working, and we'll see what you can do. We'll see what you can do in the future. So shout out to Natasha Mack. Welcome to the WNBA again. Okay. She's been out of the league for quite a bit of time. So shout out to her. So again, Natasha Mack and Kiki Herbert Harrigan, they're showing it is possible to return. It is possible to return. Also, we have Sug Sutton. Sug Sutton is another player who was with the Phoenix Mercury last year, back with the squad this year. She's going to play a lot of minutes, that's for sure. And that's the squad. That's the squad for the Phoenix Mercury. Mama, I am saying that we will not see the Phoenix Mercury in the playoffs this year. I'm chalking that up to the injury to Brittney Griner, the fact that she's going to be out for the majority of the season. We will, we may not actually see a full season for Diana Taurasi because she's an older player. So she's gonna have some games where she's feeling some aches and pains and may not play. And that's gonna hurt the roster as well. They have a new coach.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they have a brand new coach. He used to he actually has some NBA assistant coach experience.
Okay.
Nate Tibbetts. That's the name of the new coach. Seems like a great guy, but it's only be his first year in the W, so he's gonna have some growing pains on that front as well. So all in all, I don't see this team making the playoffs. But Mama, what do you think?
I think without Brittney they don't have a. I don't think they have a chance without Brittney. But let's say Brittney comes back, and they're able to kind of like do 50-50 in their win and losses until she gets back, then they have a chance. But if they are just down at the bottom every single game they are not winning, then no, I don't see them making the playoff. But there's always a chance if you got half of a season to work and you haven't done too bad in the first half, you have somewhat of a chance if you squeak into that 8th spot, right? Mm-hmm. So they have that chance to make the 8th spot. But without her, it just seems so hard because with her they can do anything.
Yeah,
they can do anything with Brittney, and she's been the one that carries the team, even last year. You know.
Yeah, we gonna see. All right, Mama. We have been going for an hour and a half.
Oh wow,
longer than we were expecting to go. So I do you just want to you just want to talk about charter and then we just end it from there?
Yeah, we can just talk about the charter.
Okay, perfect. All right, so guys, Mama, I don't think is fully up to date about what's happening with the charter flight. So Mama, I'm gonna tell you generally what's happening, and we get to hear your initial raw reactions about what's happening with charter flights. So charter flights are happening for the WNBA. They announced it. And they said charter flights are going to roll out to various teams or throughout the early part of this season. So charter flights will happen for this season and next season until the next CBA is agreed upon.
Okay.
And that was exciting, right? A lot of people were talking about, oh, this is fantastic. Charter flights are coming. It's going to cost around $25 million a year.
Whoa.
For charter flights for all of the teams. The WNBA will foot that bill. So individual teams are not handling the charter flights. The WNBA is handling the charter flights, which I think is a little bit different than how other leagues handle it. Because I and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that other leagues like the NFL and MLB and NBA that the individual teams actually handle the charter flights. But for the WNBA, the league is actually handling the charter flights. And there was an issue yesterday. A big hullabaloo on social media yesterday because, teams started to travel for those first sets of games, and we saw some players upset. We saw some players upset about the way charters were working, and I want to show you, Mom. I want to show you a post that Brianna Stewart actually wrote. And this got quite a bit of attention, and there were other people sort of talking about it. So I'm going to put it on the screen real quick. Brianna Stewart posted this yesterday. She said 2 out of 5 WNBA teams traveling today are on WNBA charters, and that's a win. It could have been a bigger one if the WNBA allowed teams who were not offered league charters to secure their own until a full team 12-team solution is ready. She tagged the WNBA and she said, trip number 1 of the season, charter bus. Now, the reason why this is happening is because this was a late ad.
Okay.
This charter, they announced it a couple days ago, the WNBA. They're partnering with Delta. And that, aviation scheduling is crazy. And to schedule, we have 12 teams in the WNBA. Mm-hmm. Each team is playing 40 games. That is 480 games in the regular season. If I'm doing my math correctly, I think I am. And all of those flights being organized and scheduled and whatnot, that takes a lot of time. And they haven't got it all down pat yet. And so they had 2 teams, the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx. They flew charter yesterday.
Okay.
Other teams flew regular, or like the New York Liberty, they had a charter bus to take them to their game. What do you think about this whole situation, Mama? Because there's people who are upset and they're like, the WNBA should have not announced this if not all teams can take advantage. We're seeing people say, the WNBA was just trying to prioritize the Indiana Fever because they have Caitlin Clark and whatnot. I've seen people say, it's a double standard. WNBA did a bad job planning and yada yada yada. Like I've seen a lot of criticisms about the WNBA, and I actually really do also have a critique about the WNBA and how I think they probably should have probably waited to really make this announcement official until this was all situated. But Mama, what do you take in what I just said, and what are your initial thoughts about it?
Well, I say this: they have made some progress, so that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Because last season they had this big thing about the WNBA wanting chartered flights, so they'd have to deal with the public. So that's number one. Number two, this is something new, so they could have waited until they got everything situated. But I think just because the season started, they wanted to have some teams at least have the pleasure of having a charter flight.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is this: you're choosing which team have the charter flights. That's the issue. And so that's where the favoritism can come. It's easy to see that as a favoritism thing. If you had drew numbers or did something to say, hey, we only can do two charter flights right now, and we're going to draw your names out of the hat, and those are the teams that are going to have a charter flight, I think that would have been better, since you knew you could not do all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
But we already know the Fever are one of the favorites because of Caitlin Clark, so we know that's why you kind of chose them as one of the teams to fly charter. But it's just, if they can, this is the first week of the season.
Yeah.
If you can, by next week, get all the teams on charter flight, I think all the noise will go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you cannot do that, then it's going to continue to be the noise is going to get louder and louder. You've got to they have to get this figured out quickly, because you should not open up your mouth if you couldn't do it. Because you said all the teams. You didn't say two teams. You did say all the teams will be able to fly charter. And that is the problem. So resolve the problem quickly. We know that the aviation system is a very complicated system. They deal with pilots that are retiring, new pilots. They always having this issue too of having pilots available. So you got to deal with that, and they only dealing with Delta. So you're only dealing with one aviation company. You didn't go to any of the other airlines, and I'm wondering why you only went to Delta. So that's another thing. Did you span it out to all the other Southwest? Did you span it out to anybody else, or was Delta the only the only company you say, okay, we just gonna do Delta? And who made that decision? So it's just a lot of things. It's only 12 teams, so, and you only got 2 today. What about
2 out of 5?
2 out of 5 that's flying, that need to fly, done this week. So if you can have 100% of them that need to fly charter, all the noise will go away.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about that.
All right.
But the favoritism it's obvious when you say it's 5 teams that need to fly and only 2. How did you choose those 2? Is the question.
Yeah, and to sort of give a interesting spin that I want to know your take, and also you all watching, I want to hear your take as well. So the Minnesota Lynx were traveling to Seattle. They're going from Minnesota to Seattle. The Indiana Fever is going from Indiana to Connecticut. So
okay, that's
this sizable distance,
right?
For the New York Liberty, they were going from New York to Washington D.C., which, yeah, absolutely they could fly, but also
a long distance.
A bus ride is not that bad,
right?
And then we saw the Phoenix Mercury, they're going to Vegas, and so yes, distance. But not as great. So to sort of
I understand what you're saying.
To sort of say that it is I think it is very easy to read favoritism into this, and I think this is where the WNBA does themselves a disadvantage, because now you're gonna have people be like, oh, well, you just picked Indiana because they're Indiana. Like, what about these? You know what I'm saying? What about these other things? But it's possible that it was actually location based, and it was like, hey, the teams that are flying the furthest distance are going to take advantage of this. And if that's the case, publicly say that.
I was about to say, why couldn't they just said that?
Yeah.
If you'd have said that, all the noise would have went away from the beginning. Say, right now we're only able to do 2 charter flights this week. And the reason why we're choosing these 2 teams because they have to go 800 miles. Let's just say it like that. The other teams, they're not as far away, so a bus ride or even just the normal flights would work for them. Mm-hmm. If you'd have said that. So you can't leave the public an option to just feed into what they want to say. You have to say what you want them to believe. That's just the way it is. Everybody's paying attention to whatever the WNBA is doing now. You made the announcement, so they like, hey, that's a good thing because we know what happened last year, and we don't want that to happen this year. So, and the NBA, they have charter flights.
Yeah, all the time.
So it's not a big deal to them. So it should have been worked out before the season even started. Is what I'm really saying. Mm-hmm. You've had the whole season off. What were you doing with that? So.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Mom, a lot of people love your commentary. They said, FM is saying, go ahead, Mama. I feel like I'm watching ESPN. Lauren says, Mom is right. Great solution. BJ says, at the doctor's appointment and enjoying the content. Adrian says, preach, Mama. Oh man, that's funny. I told y'all, Mama. Mama know what you're talking about. Monica says, Mama, very wise. I agree with that. Let's see. Nola says, Mama, you're right. It should have been a lottery pick to get charter flights. They decided to play the race. Well, people are assuming that's what they decided to do. I am going to say no, they didn't decide to do that. Because I really, it could absolutely seem that way, but I don't think they were doing that.
As you said what you said, I think they probably chose it because of the distance.
Yeah.
But if you don't say that, then people can say whatever they want towards it. Mm-hmm. You have to say, this is the reason why we chose these specific teams to get the charter flights at this time.
Yeah. Good point, honestly. Mama honestly says, told me to tell you about how in the past teams have been fined because charter flights were considered a competitive advantage. Yep. So, Mama, was it a couple years ago? Joe Tsai, who's the owner of the New York Liberty, he wanted to fly his team charter, and the WNBA was like, if you fly your team charter, he's like, I'm gonna pay for it. He's like, I don't mind. I'll pay for it. Just let me fly my team charter. The WNBA said no.
Really?
If you do that, we're gonna fine you, and we may even take your team.
But why?
They said it was a competitive advantage, which it is. You know, I mean, because think about it. Like when you're flying private, you know.
But he's paying for it.
Yeah, but the players get to stretch out.
He's paying for it. Shouldn't even matter.
But the WNBA,
he was paying for it, so it shouldn't matter. I'm sorry. That's the benefit of being the owner he is.
Yeah, but the WNBA was like, nope, it's a competitive advantage. But it's now interesting
flipping the switch. So.
That now it's not a competitive advantage. It's not a competitive advantage for Indiana or Minnesota. But it was a competitive advantage when Josiah and other owners wanted to do that. So that's something that's That's something that is very, very, very interesting. So
but I think I hear what they're saying, but I don't agree with it. If an owner is willing to pay out of his own pocket, he's going to make it the best for his players, right?
Yeah.
Every team, that's what they're supposed to do. So if he has the means to do that, what was wrong with that? He made you aware that that's what he wanted to do. He didn't just do it. He made you aware that this is what he wanted to do. You said no because it would be considered competitive advantage. Yes, but I want that competitive advantage for my team. What's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
If another owner has the capability, wouldn't they make it? Wait a minute, how many teams have their own gyms, their own?
That's a good point.
So isn't that competitive advantage then?
Oh, mama, that's a good point.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't it for real?
It is.
What's the difference?
You got the Las Vegas Aces, state of the art everything. Private, got their own gym,
Mm-hmm.
weight room, sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Got the whole like water thing for water aerobics or whatever.
Isn't that a competitive advantage? Yes, the owner's paying for it, but isn't that competitive advantage? Why not the WNBA say all WNBA teams have advantage of facilities such as this?
I mean, mama, you right.
Seriously, what is the difference?
There is no difference. I mean, the way you just explained it. Philip says, I agree with mama. Yeah, I mean, mama, I've actually never thought of it that way until you just said that. I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Since they want to call it a competitive advantage.
Yeah, Nola says having a state-of-the-art practice facility could be a competitive advantage. Yeah.
It is a competitive advantage. Not could. It is because they have access to facilities that other players do not have. It's clear.
I mean, man. Guys, drop the mic on mama real quick. Drop the mic on mama. Oh my goodness. What? KG says, great point. High Vibration says, good point, mom. Lejeune says, mama spitting facts and logic. Facts. DJ, hey, you right about that. It says, this is the difference between professional men's and women's sports. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kyra's 100. People give it. Yep. Honestly, just talk about it, mom. The Storm has a hyperbaric pod. I don't know exactly what
Isn't that
what
to
exactly
heal their bodies after they've did all that playing? It's like a water aerobics, isn't it, like that, to heal their muscles and stuff?
I don't know. All I know is they really enjoy it. They really like that.
Okay, so, but their owners provided that.
Yes.
That's my point I'm trying to say. Their owners are providing what they want their players to have. So it should be the same thing across the board if you want to say competitive advantage.
Yeah, I mean, mama.
I know. I just started something. You. I know I did because somebody's gonna hear this and gonna make a point about it.
Watch. We gonna be listening to ESPN and we gonna hear someone make the same exact argument mama just made. The same exact argument about how everything else is a competitive advantage too. If you want to call the travel thing a competitive advantage, we gonna hear it and we gonna say mama said it first.
Mm-hmm. It's true though. It's true.
I mean, yeah. Kyra says the hottest of takes. Yeah. Guys, I think we should just call it from here. I mean, this stream is not gonna get any better than that. That was, mama just spit some facts, and yeah, I don't know, mama. You got anything else to say after?
No, I was just, the competitive advantage just threw me for a loop there. I was like, what? Are you serious? The owners give their players what they want them to have.
Yeah. You can't pay players more money outside of the salary cap, and so all you can do is give them other competitive advantages.
Yep.
With facilities, with nutrition, with the other stuff, other amenities that teams have, and travel should be included in that.
Yeah,
travel.
Well,
Really
travel's
should
a
be
big
included.
part.
Yeah.
When you go into a away game, that's a big part. If somebody is traveling and they get in the night before, and whereas the other team is already at home, and you got a few minutes, you get in there, you got to get up early, go practice, and next thing you know, the game is start. That does become an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real quick, we gonna get to a couple of comments, and then we all done.
Okay.
Lejeune says, "Quita, I vote for a nickname for your mom, Sky Mama."
Sky Mama.
What?
Okay.
Mama, what? I mean, that's what they gonna call you. So what are your thoughts about this?
That's fine.
You sure?
That's fine.
All right, y'all. She said it's fine.
That's fine.
All right. Let's see. Philip says one of their producers are probably watching the show right now for ideas. Hey, you can take our ideas. Just get a channel a shout out. That's all I ask. Mm-hmm. Just get a channel a shout out. Cause I know some of these people be watching this channel, but nobody ever talks about it. But yeah, give the channel a shout out if y'all gonna watch. Okay, give it a shout out. Let's see. DJ says, point blank, the WNBA wasn't prepared for the Caitlin Clark effect. Thus, they are behind the 8 ball and trying to play catch up as best they can. I would agree with the fact that the WNBA was not prepared for what we have here. Sure, call it the Caitlin Clark effect. I don't think it's just Caitlin Clark. Again, I said it earlier. The Angel Reese effect is a real thing as well. Mm-hmm. The game has been growing year over year over year. Like last year was one of the best years for the WNBA.
Yep.
We saw growth through the roof. And I don't think the growth that we'll see this year is just from Caitlin Clark. But I to your point though, DJ, I agree with it. The WNBA was not prepared for where we are right now. You can see that in the flight stuff. Mm-hmm. They could have been working with Delta for months ago to kind of
United Airline. It don't just have to be Delta, because depending on what region they coming from.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Self-made says, what about company cars? Yes, some of the players do get company cars. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Sky has a deal with Ford.
That's what I was about to say. Last year, all of them got
all the
cars.
Players got cars. Mm-hmm. Very nice Fords. Mm-hmm. Jeremy says, enjoy the pod with you and your mom. Happy Mother's Day also.
Thank you.
Country says, that's why we need Mama on the show. A fresh pair of eyes. Yeah. That's what she brings. Absolutely. CAC says, Quita, are you on playback tonight? It doesn't have your schedule on your page. Here's the deal. I contacted playback earlier today because it seems like the WNBA isn't showing up on my viewer. So they said they're working with the WNBA to get everything set up. It was my goal and my plan to actually go live today for the WNBA, but I guess they're working through some last minute stuff with the WNBA. So unfortunately, I will not be able to go live today in playback. But guys, I will be live after the Indiana game to do a recap about that. I'll also be live after the Vegas game to do a recap of that. So I will be live, but unfortunately cannot be live during the game itself because there's, I guess, some like last minute stuff that playback has to do with the WNBA, and unfortunately we will not be able to stream during the games and have me do my commentary. But hopefully that'll get all figured out very, very soon, and I will be able to start going live later this week. Okay. But you all can catch me after the games that are happening today, and I will keep you all informed about what's going All right. Curtis says, I think we need to put Mama in charge of booking flights for the WNBA.
You know, I'm good with details, so that's what I do.
Y'all, Mama is very detail oriented. She could do it. Hey, she could do a great job doing that. I'm just saying, she could do a great job. Let's see. Country says, Quita, you should drop the video and tweet about it as well. Drop what video? I don't. Country, can you say specifically what video you're talking about? Once we get an answer to that, I think we can call it quits. But yeah, specifically, what do you mean? Anyway, guys, I really do appreciate y'all rocking with us. Mama, thanks for joining.
We had fun.
This was a fun. And Mama, can you believe it? We've been going for an hour and 50 minutes.
No, I cannot believe it. It don't feel that long.
Wow.
Because we've been talking, and having fun.
I mean, what's funner than talking about some women's basketball, guys?
I know. Happy
first day of the 2024 WNBA season. We about to have a blast of a season. I hope you guys are ready for it. You guys can make sure to subscribe to this channel. You'll get awesome commentary like you just heard today. You're also going to get lots of news and information about what's happening in the game. So highly recommend y'all to subscribe. Hit that like button on y'all way out. Please hit that like button on y'all way out. I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Guys, show some love to Mama in the comment section. Mama has returned because y'all was rocking with her the last time she was live. So she was like, okay, I'll do it again. And so if y'all want Mama to come back, show her some love in the comments. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And guys, we will see y'all later.
Yes.
Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.